Welcome to Sipping Reality with Jill and
Megan.
Oh, it's been an interesting day so far today.
Wow.
The topic we're talking about today isn't that funny.
It's not. But I mean, I guess we could make it funny if we wanted to.
I mean, we'll probably laugh anyways, because we always do.
Yeah.
But it's actually, I think, a more serious topic.
Yeah.
One that affects us personally, has affected us personally, and has changed and
Well, we've had some
developed
experience in the religious communities, you know, with what we're about to talk about. So I don't know, both of us started thinking about it yesterday.
Yeah, we got into this really deep discussion, and we're like, "Oh my gosh, this should
And I had
just
been
be
thinking
the
about
podcast."
it was weird that you had brought it up because I literally, before you said anything to me, had a whole daydream thought in my car while I was driving, literally, about these. Did you just snot? You did.
I did. There's tissues over there. I do. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
That happened. I laughed so hard. You're talking all serious.
I was.
And I was thinking about how we got on the podcast and we started laughing so hard. And I don't know, it just made me, I just got distracted. I apologize.
Me daydreaming made you laugh.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah,
Don't squish your bread.
Okay, I know. I need to eat it when I feel a little better.
I brought her some pumpkin bread with dark chocolate in it. Oh, you're not supposed to eat chocolate.
Well, that's why I'm going to wait till I feel better. Because it would make me dizzy right now.
Oh, no.
It's okay.
I didn't even think of it.
We're not talking about that today. We're going to go.
The bread is really
I
good.
totally distracted you when you were in it. So, like,
I
get
was.
back on
How
it.
dare you? Oh, no. We have a toddler devil.
We have an intruder. Intruder alert. Okay, you go talking on what we were saying. I'll handle the intruder.
Okay, she's handling the intruder. Kids are home today because of the snow, so they canceled school yesterday. They didn't do that when we were kids at all. I don't remember school being canceled the day before. They literally waited until it was an hour into the snowstorm at 5 o'clock in the morning to cancel school. Anyway, she's not in the room with me right now, and this is really fun. I'm talking to myself, and it's funny. Anyways, she's back in the room now.
Are you making yourself laugh all by yourself?
Yes. I was literally talking to myself about how they canceled school when we were kids when it came to snowstorms, and it wasn't the same. They never canceled the day before. We had to stay up until 6 in the morning to find out whether they were going to cancel or not. And it would be snowing out, and they would not cancel school.
Oh my gosh. So
Now they just need to think about it snowing tomorrow, and they cancel it the day before.
yes. Well, they cancel it for cold weather and hot weather and all kinds of things. They didn't do that when we were kids.
No, we sat in our rooms where they shut the lights off when it was hot
They
during
did.
the summer. Yeah,
They closed the
put
blinds
the fans on,
and put the fans on and shut the lights
They never.
off. Yes,
Yeah, no.
that was interesting.
Yeah.
I remember those days.
We might do less work that day, but we didn't have the day off.
Okay, so
Anyways.
back to what you were saying when I so rudely interrupted you because I just started
did.
laughing in my own head.
You did.
Okay.
And then it made me think about daydreaming in inappropriate ways when you laughed. I don't know why.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, goodness. We'll
Yeah.
save that for our next podcast.
Or our Sipping Reality X podcast.
Yes, we'll be recording an episode directly after this. So if you're into that,
We'll be on there.
we will be on there also
Recording
today.
our second episode.
Yes.
Anyways, so yeah, I was daydreaming about. That was such a weird laugh. Anyways, I was daydreaming about when. So we've told you guys, stop laughing. We told you guys that we were in the Torah community Bible.
After leaving Christianity.
Yes.
So we were in that also.
Which for people that don't know, basically we had learned that we felt we needed to follow the commandments in the Old Testament. Why are you laughing? Gosh darn it. I can't even take this seriously.
I don't know what's wrong with me. I really really don't. I don't know. I can't stop. I don't even know what thoughts are in my head. I don't. I just keep thinking about laughing, and then I start laughing.
I'm usually the one that's not serious.
Right? I'm usually the one that's like, come on, we gotta
very
stay
serious,
on track.
And
I am.
And it's me. It's me this time.
Megan's like, come on, Joe. Like, we actually have an important topic to discuss here.
I am feeling very serious right now. Maybe that's why you're laughing.
I don't know. It's very strange.
Is it weird because I'm being serious?
No.
Oh, okay.
We've been very serious.
Yeah, we have.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah. Now you laugh. See? I got serious and you started laughing. What is that? Oh my gosh. We might need to take a pause and just shake it out.
I'm okay.
Do some lion's breath.
What's that?
A lion's breath?
Yeah.
You don't know what that is?
No.
Oh, it's really funny looking. Too bad we're not on video. I could do it. Everyone would think
We
it was
need to
funny.
get on video. I'm actually looking for a nice rustic wood table and gonna be buying our teapots and teacups with our Sipping Reality logo on them so we can start recording visually.
Yes.
I'm excited about that.
Yes. That's going to be
It's gonna be really
beautiful
cute.
and fun.
and relaxing and cozy and just shooting the shit.
Yes.
We have another intruder.
The topic we were discussing yesterday when we were on the phone. So
Did we even explain the topic yet?
no, we didn't get that far.
I can't even.
So what we were talking about was how restrictive religion becomes the deeper you get into it. The more you debate. So the more you look
Endless
at
debates,
whatever you believe is scripture, no matter what religion you are, whatever you believe is as scripture, whether it's the Bible or it's the Bible plus other books or it's the Talmud or like whatever, right? We could go through all the religions, but whatever you think of as scripture, the more you sit and study and discuss and debate, not only does that bring you into a place of deeper and deeper restriction, but also isolation from the world. And
the more and more you believe that you know the truth and no one else does.
Well, there's that too.
Which it isolates
It's very dangerous.
Well, it's dangerous. It isolates you, and it puts you in a position where you can't come with love to anybody anymore because you automatically come with judgment and
yes.
A real debate is always someone that can try to stay objective. That is real healthy debate. What? She just laughed out of nowhere.
I thought about this.
She thought about our sign for when it's 20 minutes and we need to stop talking.
When we're going to start wrapping things up, I said, what should I do? Because I can see the time and she can't. And so she put her hands up and just kind of like moved her fingers, and I don't know. I was looking at the time.
Like a hey.
I was thinking about doing that, and it just made me laugh. Okay. I'm not ever this distracted. Am I?
No.
This is very out of character for me.
It is.
Okay. I'm going to really try and get into my
And it's out of
own
character for me to be so serious.
Yeah. That's so funny. We're like switching roles today.
Yeah, we are.
I think it's this new guy. He's getting to me. Mm-hmm. Oh, we'll talk about that on the next podcast, not this one.
Yeah, she's switching roles for sure.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah, we can talk a little bit about that. That would be an interesting topic. I'm sure you would enjoy it.
Yeah, it is.
So check into that after this one. So yes, Torah. So restrictive. What specifically were you saying?
No, I don't even know, but just how oppressive things get. We were talking about how the deeper we get into it, the harder it is to be able to debate objectively.
Yes.
In a healthy way.
Well, there's an example. This morning, I was listening to a polo from a friend, and she's just had two people, her father and one of her best friends, pass away, all within 2 weeks of each other, and she's never lost anyone close to her. And she asked me what I believe about after death and what happens to people after death. And I was able to give an answer that was, okay, well, this is what I get from this, and this is what I get from that, and this is what I get from my experience. So I kind of have a feeling like this is that, but there's really no way for us to know. All we could do is take the things that we do know and have comfort in that, and live our lives well. I don't know. I was able to
all
give
we
an
can do
answer.
really is present the evidence that we've seen and read, and
yes, and say,
what
because
could be
of that,
true.
this
Yeah.
is what I think could be true. And
Right.
but we don't know. We don't know for certain because we're not there. And so it was refreshing for me to be able to answer that way, instead of bringing these scriptures and saying, well, this is what it is, and this is the only thing you can believe. And even if that's upsetting to you, you can't believe anything else, and you can't have any comfort in this or that. Or
Yep.
if you bring something contradicting to me of what I'm saying, I have to get offended. And I don't know. It's just cuckoo.
No, I mean, just our experience in the Torah community. Are you hot? She's waving her face. Is how restrictive it got, more oppressive and more oppressive. It was like, well, if we can't cause anybody to work on the Sabbath, then we can't even have an Amazon. We can't even order Amazon because they could come on Saturday. And
well, then you have to get a post office box because they deliver mail on Saturdays. So,
but then
so
they
you
still
have to
might.
have a post office
But then
box.
they're still working because they still work on Saturdays.
If somebody sent you a package, they could still deliver you a package. No, not if you have a post office box.
But they're still going to deliver it to your post office box on a Saturday.
Oh, that's true.
It's like you have to, like, you go down this rabbit hole. Well, then I can't do this, and then I can't do that, and then I can't do this.
Get in discussions with people who tell you
but not
can't
only
do these
people
things.
in the community go down these rabbit holes themselves and then try to enforce it on the rest of the community. And just because it was their own revelation, going down a rabbit hole like that. And it just becomes very dangerous and very oppressive. Anyways, so I was thinking about this by myself in my car, and then you, all of a sudden, yesterday, we got on the phone while I was driving, and you were like, I was thinking about this. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's crazy, because I just had this whole thought process about how oppressive and like going down these rabbit holes had become for us. I mean, even you and I are kind of just like coming out of that the last...
Well, we've been coming out of oppression in general. Very oppressive life, being oppressed by the people that we've chosen in our life, stemming down from childhood when we didn't have choice, right?
Yep.
And coming out of that oppression really helped me to see the other areas of my life where I had that same feeling. It felt the same. It felt the same as being in a marriage like I was in. I was like, this isn't right. This isn't good. I think the thing that stands out, to me the most, I just lost the thought. It flew away. It flew right out the window because I was looking at the snow. Is that, why don't you talk? I'll think.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I just know that I've been in oppression my whole life. I mean, from the narcissistic spirit, abuse, and I mean, coming into you got it? She got it.
I was going to say that what ends up happening is that people with these really strong beliefs and really strong faith, they gain something from it and then go so deeply into it, it becomes this oppression that we're talking about. And then they actually don't live. They're so oppressed and isolated, they're incapable of living the life that they're preaching.
Right.
That's the big point.
And that's what we were talking about yesterday, because it gets so focused on these endless debates. And that's all you think about. You're judging what's coming out of everybody's mouth. You're listening to everything they're saying. You're watching everything they're doing. You have these endless debates on, well, if it's like this and it should be this, and you're not even loving anybody anymore.
I'm constantly worried that everything you do is gonna send you to hell or get your soul destroyed or whatever.
For me, I can't believe that, because I do believe that there's a creator. I have not
strayed from that.
Yeah.
Yes, we still have beliefs.
I just can't believe at this point in my walk that a creator would want me to live in such oppression and worry. And Jill and I were talking yesterday, like we're not hurting anybody. We're actually loving more people than we ever have in our lives. Like,
Yes.
and we plan to do that more. Even with this podcast, it's to reach people that are alone, that are isolated in their thoughts, even if they're not physically. Like, we're here, we want to be a voice. We want to,
we want to be a presence of openness and love and kindness
acceptance
and goodness.
Yeah.
And, even with our other page, which some of you may be into and some of you may not, either way, again, we're just open and we're here. But if you are into our other page, like, we are just all about exploring and being and non-judgment. And if it's not hurting anyone or yourself, if everything's mutual and adult
consensual
choices
and there's good boundaries and there's safety.
There's a lot of actually good and healing and health that can come from living different lifestyles and being free and open to be you and not caring what the world thinks anymore. And
Right.
again, coming from a basis of non-harm,
Yeah.
not harming anyone else. If I can assess that and evaluate that. And it's interesting because the world has become such a place of harm.
Right.
Of trauma. We traumatize each other. You triggered me. I triggered you. Now I'm going to be mean to you and hurt you back because you hurt me. And you didn't even actually hurt me. I just took it as hurt because of my triggers, but I'm going to hurt you back. I mean, our world is so full of that.
Yeah.
So full of connections. Not just connections, sexual connections, but friendship connections and in groups. Like casual connections. Just break constantly today. More and
Marriages.
more and more marriages, families, children not talking to parents, parents not talking to children, aunts, uncles. Just so much division is so rampant and so propagated.
It is
also,
propagated, yes.
and we just feed into it while we're all sitting here judging each other
And I think
for doing things that don't even harm anyone, that maybe bring that person joy. So let them be.
And when you say propagated, it makes me think of I think that the powers that be learned with the Revolutionary War. I mean, way back when.
You were
but
saying this, yes.
It makes me think of this. How they were coming together, the country and the people were coming together to fight against Britain. And they were able to do that. They were able to come together. And I think what was learned by the upper echelon is that if you can divide a people, they won't come together anymore. And I mean, it's the smartest thing that any ruler could ever do.
Yes.
And to say that we're not under any kind of rule is blind. I mean, it's no different than
She wants to say delusional, but
It
she's
is.
being kind.
It's delusional.
Because we're brainwashed to believe that.
You
So
think
it's
about-
not to judge anybody who does believe that. It's just to say, like, it's actually not true.
No. Because if we look back, I mean, all throughout history, we have rulers that try to take over here and take over there, and it hasn't changed. It's the same. And the most genius way to rule people is to satiate them, make them think they have freedom, and divide them. I mean, if you could ever think of the most genius way to rule a very large amount of people, that would be the only way to do it.
A very large amount of rebellious people.
Very. I mean, we don't want to be ruled. We want freedom. We really do.
Yes.
We want freedom of choice. We want freedom of speech. We
Well,
want
just because somebody is in office doesn't make them more intelligent or have better ideas than you or me or our neighbor next door. There are highly intelligent people. I think about it a lot when I see people on their own personal social medias or just out in public. You go to a small place, right? And there's just an individual singing, like hired to sing at a wedding or something. And they're amazing, but they're not blockbuster hits. They're not that would be movies.
Oh, I miss Blockbuster.
Right?
Yeah.
Blockbuster was special.
It really
that
was.
fun.
Yeah.
The popcorn and the candy.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
when you're purchasing.
You're looking through the
and
new
you want,
releases.
Popcorn. You get all excited to watch a movie.
Yeah. That was a
But
special
yeah,
time.
not movies. I'm talking about Grammys. Wait, no. Which one is it? Oh my gosh! Now my brain.
Blockbuster hit. What's
Not Blockbuster. I was thinking of music.
I
was
know.
thinking music.
I know, but now I can't think of
I know.
what the music
That's what
form
happens.
of a Blockbuster
I
hit is.
know, because I messed us up
don't know.
mentally. That's what happens when I say the wrong thing. Okay, so music, like we see all these famous people singing, and your neighbor next door might actually have a more exceptional voice than anyone making millions and millions of dollars singing who became famous, right?
Yeah.
And it's the same. Just because somebody's a doctor doesn't mean that you or one of your neighbors or one of your family members doesn't have an intelligence and a natural inclination to understand the human body, that what they have to say isn't important
Right.
and isn't necessarily true and extremely intelligent and helpful. And I think that we live in a world where we believe that we have to have certain education by certain people, or we have to have certain intelligence
Look how
graded
intelligent
by
Native
certain
Americans were.
by certain scores.
With natural medicine. They didn't have letters behind their names, so they don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, just
It's
the
ridiculous.
mixing of different herbs and the understanding of how to use them and
Yeah.
create that. I think we all have the ability to think and create, and we're also told that we don't. We think we have to hire somebody to do everything for us because we're told that we don't know how to do these things, and you have to go to school to have the education for it. And sometimes that's true. I'm not just gonna go mess with the wiring in my walls. Like, I would need to learn something about that first, of
Or hire
course.
somebody who...
But am I capable of learning that
Yes.
and then doing it on my own? Absolutely, I have that intelligence, and I don't necessarily think somebody needs to go to all that schooling to be able to learn that.
Well, no. I mean, apprenticeship was the way to learn these things back in the day. I mean, you wouldn't be paying to go to school. You wouldn't be getting to a certificate or a license. You would follow someone and apprentice them until you mastered the trade.
And then you start doing it.
Yeah. I mean, it's the certificate and license that really, I'm not going to say it's meaningless, because in the way that people do work hard to study and to get their licenses and certifications and stuff. I'm not knocking that at all, but
a lot of it is unnecessary. This is a whole nother topic that we're on now, and I don't know how we got here.
I have no idea either.
It is important. So when I went to school
But
for...
under the guise of oppression, I mean,
Yes,
it kind
it
of
is.
goes...
It's oppressive. Yeah. It does. I went to school for substance abuse counseling and got letters after my name, a KDAC, right? I don't have that current certification anymore because I didn't keep up with all the things you need to keep up with it. But I went to school, got this KDAC. I had to learn about psych drugs. I had to learn about... mental health stuff. I had to learn about, of course, addiction, drugs, alcohol, all kinds of things, right? Family dynamics. We had to learn a lot. We had a lot of different classes and had to learn, not in depth, but the surface level learning of many topics. And then once you get a job, you actually can't do anything or make any decisions on your own. The only thing you can do is follow prompts on a computer and click boxes and ask questions that the computer tells you to ask, and then write down what the client answers. And if you do any type of counseling, you have to counsel them from a scripted counseling thing that you're told this is what you can say, this is how you can respond. And then when you teach groups, you have to teach a group that's out of this book that has all these different groups that you can teach, and you can choose which one you want to do with them, but you have to do it. And then you have to put notes in this system that the government can read and has access to when they check up on your charts. And you have to put notes in there saying which group you taught and what the client's responses were to that group. So therefore they can check to make sure that you weren't teaching your own thing and you were only teaching from what they tell you can do. So what was the point of all of that education? Taking this major test.
If all you're doing is reading every day anyway.
To get these letters after my name.
Yeah.
And then I literally wasn't allowed to speak from myself. I had zero autonomy in my position. And there was zero credit given to the fact that I had gone to school and learned all of these things on my own, proved my ability to know and understand how to interact with people in this type of situation. And now there's no trust and no ability still to actually do that.
Well,
It's insane.
I mean, it's the same with medicine.
Exactly.
It's the same
That's
with
my
everything.
Point. It's the same with therapists. It's the
Yeah.
same with doctors today.
You
nurses.
don't do it by the book. They take away your license.
Yes, a nurse goes to school. Look at all the school a nurse has to go to. All they have to know, and then they go up to their job, and it's only protocol.
Yeah.
Whatever protocol, I have to ask the doctor, and they go ask the doctor, and then the doctor tells them what the protocol is for the hospital or for the clinic. There's no
And the
ability or room
scary thing about
to think for yourself within any of these positions. With all the schooling you go to, with all you learn, anybody could walk into your position and do it as long as you could follow protocol.
Well,
you don't need all that schooling.
Right.
So it is worthless.
Yeah.
I mean, I say
It
that.
is and it isn't.
Yes, that's. I don't want to.
And the
say
scary,
that as
the
like
scary
a straight
part
statement.
of the scary part about it is when we are just following protocol. Things like the nurses of the Third Reich happen. Okay, Nazi Germany. They were following protocol.
Yeah.
That's all they were doing.
Yeah.
And guess what? If they didn't,
Yeah.
they would be fired
Yep.
or killed
Yep.
if they spoke out.
What if they were single moms and had children? What, they're gonna not do what they're told?
Exactly.
And their children's lives will
And
be
we
at
didn't-
stake.
Yeah, so it's a very scary it's a very scary thing when you're getting a large group of people. I mean, this does go under the same umbrella of oppression, because if you get a large group of people that are just following protocol and not thinking for themselves, there's a lot of danger in that. A lot. I think she just waved at me for that wasn't what I told you to do. That was not what I told you to do.
Well, I just want to apologize that it took us so long to get
to
into
the
a
point?
topic today. That
Yeah.
was 100% on me.
Oh, how's that bread?
It's delicious.
Isn't it amazing?
I couldn't help it. It's been sitting in front of me, and I had to take a bite of it.
That's all I've eaten since it came out of the oven yesterday.
Oh my gosh, I bet it was amazing out of the oven. Oh my god. Warm and
It was.
oh, yeah.
I put a tiny bit of butter on it too. Oh, yeah.
Yep, out of the oven. That would be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe next time I won't be in this weird mood where
It's
I can't
fine.
stop laughing.
It was fine. And maybe you needed to laugh.
I think I did. I wasn't feeling good today.
No.
I think I really did need to laugh.
You're
I,
like a lot lighter now that you
Yeah.
laughed a whole bunch.
I feel a lot better.
Yeah,
and
when
I
I
really
first got
hope-
here, she was like, ugh.
Yeah, I was pretty
And now
miserable.
she's like, now you're pretty lively.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I hope you got to laugh with us a little bit. And
Yeah.
that you're feeling a little bit better too.
Yeah,
And-
even though we had a serious topic today.
Yeah, so maybe it was how it was meant to be.
Yeah, I guess so.
So we will we will edit that out.
Well, thank you all for listening. We love you. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share.